timeline spans
Jesus
from like 12,
Christ.
actually 10 to 14, like, because they
What? Oh my god, this is fucking sick, bro.
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's
Yo,
up?
what up? It's Ahmad J back here with another video. Today we're about to be getting into a video by Maury, and the video is going to be on David finally got arrested. And bro, I was so glad to see this title, so glad to see this news come out. There's even footage of this nigga like getting hauled out and getting arrested, bro. Like, everybody has been waiting for this news for the longest, bro. It's just been like he said, she said, and behind the background with the, you know, the officers, but the whole internet knew already. It was been solved already, and like been solved that he was already connected, but they need to put the pieces together, and they need to show that in court. You can't just go off of anything online though.
Anyway, in updated news, David has now finally been arrested in connection to the murder of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. According to recent reports, David has officially been arrested in connection, and according to LAPD, David, born David Anthony Burke, was arrested by Robbery Homicide Division in connection with Hernandez's murder and is currently being held without bail. The case is set to be presented to the district attorney's office on Monday for filing consideration, so he's pretty much cooked. Emo boy, Hello Kitty assessed. Weirdo predator, like this is an actual predator. Someone who's actually involved in the murder of another individual. Not Sai Kuno and all these other celebs you guys want to water down the word predator for.
I'll just tell you after this.
Alright, so the gate is locked. You want to open the gate? Sir? Open the gate.
And now people in the comment section are saying internet solved this within 24 hours, but here we are months later.
Yeah, bro. Even if he didn't have hands on or didn't do anything with her murder, there's just so much evidence online connecting him with her, like being them being together. There's just so much like leaks, Discord leaks. There's just a whole ton of like trail. He even appeared with her on a live Twitch stream. Holy fuck, this nigga was just moving crazy, bro. Oh, and out in the open too. This is just sad to see, bro.
Later, another person said this gotta be the slowest arrest ever made. Listen, they're trying to have an ironclad case here. They had plenty of time, and I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna get, well, decades in prison, maybe. Joanna said, hire all the ones who solved it online from the same day and fire the detectives. Nah, that's not how that works, but I understand what she's saying. Someone said, took them a while, but glad they did the right thing. I mean, it's not like they had any other choice. Other people are saying, I think the internet solved it the first day. One person said, took the internet 2 minutes to decide he was guilty. I mean, it was obvious, right? Like, of course, people still.
I mean, even before all this evidence came out, it just seemed like way too. Like, it just seemed way too obvious, honestly, and it seemed way too, like, weird. As soon as the name came out, it just seemed suspicious. And there's just, like, no other way you just can't, like, know something was connected. A dead body was found in your trunk.
It took months to collect every single data point, but after all that was collected and combined and the larger picture was formulated, yeah, he was pretty much fried. And by the way, this information was provided by the official LAPD PIO. They said detectives from Los Angeles Police Department Robbery Homicide Division, right? So this is basically the official page for that unit. And just to catch up a lot of people to this case, because, you know, not everybody was around during the David case in terms of, you know, keeping their eyes on the details and hearing about updates. So I'm going to play some clips and some video footage from ABC7 about latest details.
Presented to the DA's office on Monday for filing consideration. You may remember, and we've been reporting, Rivas's body was found in the trunk of David's car in September of last year. She was only 14 years old. Again, this breaking news just into our newsroom. We're working to get more information, and we'll continue to follow this story.
Yes, so for people who are completely oblivious to the David case, of which I don't know how, if you are on social media, you would be, but she was 14. The timeline spans from like 12, actually 10 to 14, like, because they.
What? Oh my god, this is fucking sick, bro. You was talking to this girl since she was 10? Bro, this breaks my heart too because my niece is 10, bro, and this is just like disgusting. Oh, that shit makes me sad. Rest in peace, her soul, bro. Like, dude, this is just crazy. She was really just talking to this nigga since then. I just don't know how. Like, this is why parents really need to monitor what like their child is just doing online. This is why my sister gives my niece like this little like she don't install these apps. She had to ask for permission to install all these apps. I'm sorry, but it needs to be reconstructed right now because we have this whole situation that could just happen out here, and just regular ass predators out there. And she has her like on like this little app that has like she has to ask for time. She literally has to like they literally have to like physically enter a password and give her like 30 more minutes or 10 more minutes. Did that for her phone and did that for her tablet. And I agree with that. And I'm glad she took those steps to do that shit because this is just like so ridiculous. And man, this shit just makes me sad.
It just, they knew each other. They met online, Discord apparently, through Fortnite, and then everything escalated year by year by year. And it's just a disgusting case.
Do want to go ahead and bring in now ABC's Alex Stone on the phone to speak more about this case. Alex, you've been following this from the very beginning. What can you tell us as far as this breaking information goes this afternoon?
Also, we're going to be speeding this up.
Well, Mark and Michelle, yeah, sources are telling us that this is based off of evidence that the LAPD was able to gather and put together and now is going to be presenting to the LA County DA for a filing decision on Monday.
Right, on Monday.
This was not from any kind of indictment. We know that the case had gone to a grand jury. It was expected that there might be an indictment coming sometime soon. We were thinking in the last couple of months or in the next few weeks. This was not from that. We are told that this is evidence that they have been compiling going back to when her body was found last September, that now they have reached a point where they believe they have probable cause, and it's gone to the DA.
And guys, that is one.
Okay, that's good to hear. That is good to hear that they had probable cause and they made that arrest. So it's just like not on no hunches and not on like ordered by somebody or not ordered by a judge because they think he's gonna probably leave the country or something. They actually got some type of evidence on this nigga, and bro, I really hope this goes through. I really hope this goes through with decades in prison. Something needs to happen. Like life needs to happen, bro. Like I said, even if he wasn't directly behind her death or is something he didn't, he was just doing this for years, bro. Oh, bro, and like they got some evidence and probable cause, and it went to the DA, like it sealed.
Important note and point I want to make. Yes, unfortunately, it took them a long time to build this case, but in certain cases, especially when it comes to influential rich people, they want to make sure their cases are ironclad. I understand the frustrations we've been through since last year about this case being, I guess, stalled out or stagnated, because from an outsider perspective, it looks like they're not doing anything, but inside, of course, they were working diligently and thoroughly to make sure that this guy and whoever is connected to her murder goes away for a very long time. Again, this is the most disgusting case I've heard from a creator, someone of influence being outed in such a way. And even if he's not directly the murderer, he's clearly connected, and clearly he had some type of sexual relationship with her, which would be already a criminal federal offense in and of itself.
And so a lot of people wondering, so many things seem to point to him. Why did it take them this long to make the arrest? We know they're pretty methodical about how they do things, but
Yeah, it's a good question. One of the things that they were waiting on, Mark, was the cause of death. And there was difficulty reaching that cause of death, not to get too graphic, but her body was in multiple parts. It was in, we know from court documents, 2 different body bags in the front trunk of that Tesla when her body was found. So it was difficult for the medical examiner to determine the cause of death. So they had to prove or be able to show to the DA that she was murdered, that it wasn't something else where, let's say that she overdosed and then somebody freaked out and put her body in that trunk. They have to be able to prove that it was murder. They now believe that they can do that.
Oh, so they had to like literally prove that it was murder. So that's why it was literally taking them a long ass time to do that. And like, I know they were getting a lot of shit for it. I'm glad they took the time to do that because this is good. See, we are literally learning a lot of information about this. I'm glad we learned a lot of information. I was frustrated. I'm pretty sure everybody was frustrated that like they were taking so fucking long doing this. But like if they botched this case, people would have been even more fucking mad. So like they're gonna get shit either way. But at least they found a way to prove that she was murdered, and not just sat up there. If either the son was Poppy, like like increased the decomposition of her body. That's what made it difficult.
Exactly. And because initially it was so convoluted in why she died and how she died, because they used terms like disintegration and torn apart as if someone chopped her up. But apparently her body most likely was put in the back of the front of a trunk, because in a Tesla, the trunk is in the front, a frunk, I guess they call it. And because of the heat and the enclosed environment of which it was in, that likely exacerbated the decomposition of the body to where it naturally decomposed or disintegrated itself without having to fully be chopped up per se by a murderer. And one of the other theories was that her body was already, she was already murdered, frozen, and then transferred out into a vehicle to be transferred over to another place, likely for burial. And some, I guess, bad logistics led it to where messed up the plans, body was left in the truck. I don't know the specific details they now have as for a timeline, and specifically how she was murdered from point A to point B to point C to point D. But now they feel like they have enough evidence to point out that she was murdered intentionally, is what I'm picking up.
All right.
Yeah, we also know, David, as many entertainers do, had an entourage of people around him at times. I know some other individuals have been considered as drivers of this vehicle or either around. Any information on possibly how this could impact other people that David was around that also may have been around Celeste Rivas?
Michelle, we don't know yet, and if there are any other arrests that are going to be coming in this case. We know that there were a number of witnesses who came and testified in front of the grand jury, again, that this was not an indictment, that this is probable cause that the LAPD put together and moved forward on. But during the grand jury proceedings, which are secret as they're ongoing, that there were a number of other people who came forward. Those who are close to David, friends of David, family members of his were subpoenaed to go in front of the grand jury.
Cooks.
So if there are other arrests...
So this nigga is fucked. They can't lie. They can't lie for this nigga. They had to literally really fucking tell the truth on this whole thing. They called everybody in to just like testify, because like somebody, and like people had to know about her, like they were together and they was doing everything. You cannot think this girl was over the age of like that much. I don't want to speak. I'm trying not to like speak like much on her age, because like YouTube is gonna try to take my fucking video down. But like I said, like you can't really ignore that. Like, how do y'all not like see that she looked young? But like, man, like these niggas, yeah, I'm glad they were subpoenaed to come and testify. I hope they not trying to protect this nigga, and just know that they friend or family member was a sick ass nigga.
that could be coming, we don't know. But as of right now, he is the only one that we know of under arrest.
All right.
It's cooked, because when you have that many loopholes, that many liabilities, that many branches of people who know you and were witnesses and or have access to messages you may have sent them, it's not going to be airtight. There's always going to be one security vulnerability, of which anybody, for really that matter, detectives, investigators, hackers, can use and exploit in order to link you to a potential crime, in this case a murder, because of things you may have sent.
And also it's crazy because like kids from her school literally fucking like expose that nigga too. So much evidence on the line. They I know they gather all that information, bro. Interviewed thousands. They probably interviewed thousands of people just to get that nigga arrested, bro. They really wanted to get on this, because like it's pressure from the bigger wide world too on this shit for them to solve this.
And accidentally, IP addresses, cached images, fingerprinting, and we live in the most heavily surveilled society we've ever been in. You're always going to mess up in one way or another. Even some of the most smart, intelligent, thorough criminals in the world will get screwed over because of either something someone else they knew did, a leaked address, using your own personal equipment to commit a crime. I mean, I just want to know who's going to start snitching. And I wouldn't be shocked if David wasn't the one who specifically put his hands on her and murdered her. I wouldn't be shocked if someone did it for him through his own request.
And especially, bro, yeah, especially when you literally know that that people, like, you dangle some prison time in front of somebody, bro, they're gonna fold like a motherfucker. So I hope these niggas is just folding and exposing this nigga.
And just to clarify, he is being held without bail. That is what they're saying. Burke is being held without bail. So whichever judge is presiding over this case at this point must have seen so much evidence to the point to where they said, nah, we can't let this guy out. We can't even give him the chance to flee. And again, back to the comments, people are saying 8 months later, internet solved it already. We still listening to Here With Me and Romantic Homicide, right? Yeah.
Trolls in the comments like this, you just always get them. They're either at their attention or try to see how people react to the comments. Weird niggas.
Bro, what do you... Someone said worst police work of all time. Like, come on, man. Give him a break, bro. Give him a break. But yeah, guys, looks like the progress of this case is now escalating, and we are now getting closer and closer to a full-blown trial. Hopefully they allow filming in the court, because I want to see, we all want to see what's going to go down. We want to see people's reactions, faces. We want to see the judge. We want to hear the deliberations, defense and the plaintiffs and the witnesses get on the stand. Like, this is really a movie. But yeah, guys, chop it up.
Jesus Christ, bro. Man, I'm really glad that some progress really was made on this whole case, bro. This case is like literally like the most talked about case of all time. If this nigga somehow gets off on this is gonna be this generation's OJ Simpson, bro. I don't know. I feel like it. I hope they got this shit ironclad. I hope they got something in place. I hope because like you can arrest a nigga and present all this, but like I hope they got the best investigators on this, first of all, because like there's gonna be, I'm pretty sure his goofy ass is gonna hire a whole good ass lawyer, probably like a few good ass lawyers, to overlook this shit and get this shit into the stratosphere to try to get him out of this. But like the way this is going, I don't see this nigga getting out of this. If this nigga doesn't get like connected to some type of murder, he has to at least get connected to some PDF charges, because like there's evidence online of this, like talking to this girl, and like the police could like subpoena or whatever, do whatever they need to do, get Snapchat, get Instagram, get all of that information and tackle it and like, you know, use that as evidence against this nigga. But like I said, I'm glad this is on the move too, and I'm glad that like this whole thing is happening right now. I'm glad some progress on it, because it's been many months, and I'm pretty sure everybody was just anxious. I'm pretty sure these policemen were anxious too, but like this is like supposed to be like a good celebration, and rest in peace to Celeste, because this shit is just terrible, bro. Since she was that age, bro. Man, I hope this nigga get put away for fucking years, life. Like, bro, place that nigga under the jail, bro. But hey, if you guys like my reaction to this video and you want to see more, like and subscribe. We are on the road to 550, if I'm not at 500 by now. But catch you guys in the next video.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?